All right. Welcome back to Dead Man's Phone. And it's been a while since we played it. We recently, well, I say recently, this was a little while ago, we played Red Man. And if you don't remember what happened in Red Man, you'll be able to see it in the top right corner. Click on that link. It'll take you back to Red Man to find out where we are and how we got to this point at BBQ Sauce Everywhere. How did we get the BBQ Sauce Everywhere? You can find out at that link. Now, we know that we have Jerome here. Jerome was killed in what presumably is a gang attack. We brought in Lucas, which was like a friend of his, but claimed not to be a friend, but he was actually a friend. And then we also brought in Marcus to interrogate him as well. Marcus was Jerome's stepfather. So without further ado, let's get right into BBQ Sauce Everywhere. Interesting. Dead man's phone. All right, we got a call. So I remember PC Bronson was helping a person that just recently got stabbed, right? Let's see what PC Bronson has to say.
Sorry we got cut off earlier.
How's the boy that got stabbed?
Yeah, well, he's doing all right. He's
okay, good.
He's doing all right. The knife hit a main artery, pretty bad, to be honest. But somehow I managed to stem the blood flow.
Oh, good job, Bronson.
He's in a stable condition, critical, but he's in a stable condition. Unfortunately, Maguire couldn't apprehend the assailant. I understand he caught up with him, but he drew his knife, so not much he could do. He was forced to back down in the end.
At least the boy got saved, and now that the boy is saved, we can essentially, basically, we could find out who the attacker was. I would assume the boy would know, whoever it was that got stabbed. So Maguire caught up with him, but couldn't apprehend him because he pulled the knife. So how is Maguire? He didn't get
He was a little bit shaken, but
okay.
he's otherwise fine. Aside from that, as you know, these things are very, very common around here. So he needs to get used to him. Anyway, he's ready to get back on the Jerome Jacobs case now. So am I. So we're going to crack on with that. All right then. Well, we're heading back in. I'll chat to you in a bit. You know where to get me if you need me. All right.
All right, Bronson. Good job. Saved the boy's life. Way to go. All right. So let's go into chat. Looks like we can chat with intelligence. We can chat with whoever on the ground in forensics. Let's chat. Let's see what's new with Sophie. Crown Court has granted us access to Jerome's photo album. Perfect. That's great. If you haven't already, I'd start digging around in there for clues. All right. So retrieve and comb CT footage. Oh, is there CCTV footage on the night of the murder, especially around Stafford Tower? See if we can get some video footage. Facial recognition software has made this a lot easier. We'll get a team on it. All right, it's going to take an hour. We can skip, so even though that says it's going to take an hour, we can skip it. We have that ability to skip it. So now that we have access to his photos, we got Vibes photos. Let's see what's going on in the photos here. Down here is there's a little video right there. There's a minute video in the top left. Bunch of pictures. These ones blinking yellow look like they might be clues. New person of interest, Jerome's girlfriend. Okay. Yeah, definitely looks like Jerome's girlfriend. Let's see what's going on down here. Definitely appears to be visibly distraught. Interesting. Picture there with another kid. Let's see what this video was. Not much. Not much. Okay. So we got a little bit of information in the photo. Let's see what this video was.
Photographer Jacob needs to come out now as well. I'm recording you. Yeah, calm. Are you shit? Yeah. It's calm.
Well, and just in case that's copyright, can't have copyright stuff, so I can't get. I'm not gonna listen to music. Sorry, can't do it. If you guys want to hear the music, download the game and play it yourself. If you want to hear the music. So now we're talking to on the ground. Conduct community impact assessment. Bronson McGuire, please conduct a community impact assessment and report back. So that's McGuire. He was originally chasing around for the assailant. Bronson just saved the kid. McGuire, I think he's a new police officer or whatever. He's pretty new, so he doesn't know a whole lot. But Bronson, he's a vet. He's a veteran. You know, he's been on the police force for a long time. Assessing the impact on a community after a critical incident. Mandatory after any murder. We're on it. Okay, that's going to take a few hours. Let's see what's going on in forensics. Let's go ahead and complete the post-mortem of the deceased Jerome Jacobs. Let's talk with Vikram here. Well under the way. We will let you know when it's complete. That's going to take an hour as well. So let's see if there's anything else that we can do. We don't have anything in the interrogation. We have some clues. So the most recent clues that we picked up. Jerome appears subdued on the night of the murder. I don't remember seeing him subdued. These are all the clues that we found, right? A lot of them were in the chat. We're not going to go through all of them, but we have the pictures of the girlfriend Jerome being visibly distraught in a video selfie, and then Jerome appears subdued on the night of a murder. So, is that what that was? He was subdued? That was this bottom one right here, right? Subdued? I don't know how he's subdued. Maybe I'm blurry picture. Another blurry picture, maybe running or walking, I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to yards. Let's go to chat. Let's talk with Sophie. Let's go ahead and skip the time here. Okay, so our team got quite a lot. Okay, so we got some videos to work through. Let's go ahead and watch some of these videos. The CCTV footage of Marcus, Lucas, and Jerome. Okay. That's Marcus. That's the stepdad, Marcus, drinking. Absolutely plastered he is. Damn near smashy faced. If you guys don't know what smashy faced is, it's when you get so wasted you fall and smash your face. You get smashy faced. That was Marcus walking around all wasted. Not seeing much here. Oh, he's running and through the mask. So that was Lucas. That was Lucas running and then he threw the mask, and then Jerome picked up the mask later on, I guess. Because now Jerome's got the mask. After Lucas threw it. Interesting. Is there anything from the Stafford Tower? That's any CC footage there? CCTV? Not recoverable. Okay. Those cameras on a much shorter loop and had already reset before our team got to them. I know, a real fuck up. Anyways, it's your first case. You didn't expect it to be that easy, right? I guess. All right. Thanks, Sophie. I appreciate your hard work. Look what's been going on around Scotland Yard. Sutherland in the 90s. When he started out as a detective. Oh, so that's Sutherland there. And look, this is him now. put some miles on, didn't you? Scotland Yard does that to people. I guess you know what's in store for you, tongue-tied. Oh, no. That's not good. Oh, that's a shame. I don't want to look like Sutherland. I don't want to go from young and happy to old and miserable. It sounds terrible. So now we can identify Jerome's love interest, his girlfriend, and figure out who his girlfriend is. Yeah. Figure out who that is and maybe talk to her. See if she knows anything about Jerome and what he was into, and you know, could be he was into some bad groups. Maybe she knows a little bit more about the friends. Who knows? Let's go and skip the time, since that was only about 5 minutes there. Her name is Tara Stevenson. Oh, something's acting wonky. Goes to Peckham Academy, the same school as Jerome. We have her parental contact and address should you need it. Look, Sophie, have you been noticing any glitches on the Yard OS? I've been seeing a couple of them so far. Wouldn't surprise me. Systems are way out of date. So Sophie, the reason Sophie works with Yards is because she hacked into she was like super young and ended up like hacking into the police database or something like that, and then she got they like arrested her, and then instead of putting her in jail, they hired her to be their their security engineer or whatever you want to call it. She strengthened their security to keep them from getting hacked into again. So use the automatic number plate recognition. So go ahead and do that, Sophie. Shit, yeah, good move. Flick of a switch and we can identify every car coming in and out of Jerome's neighborhood at the time of the murder. God, this tech is making my job so easy. We'll get on it now. Okay, so there's 30 minutes of that. Let's go back to forensics. And let's go ahead and skip through forensics. Time of death was approximately 2:26 in the morning. Impact to the victim's skull has revealed velocity of the fall and determined height from that, roughly 10 stories high. Got a team pulling prints from those railings now. Now this is significant. The victim sustained injuries at the time of the death not consistent with the fall. Defensive bruises on his arms. So they were definitely attacking him. They were definitely hitting him, attacking him, hitting him with something to the point where he was covering up, protecting himself, and it was hitting his arms. So definitely rules out suicide. Would appear so. So is there anything else, Vikram? I like that name, Vikram. Just sounds smart. We found more bruises on the victim, not sustained from the fall, but these date at least a week prior to the death. Bruises on the neck and chest. And lastly, the victim had very little alcohol and no drugs in his system. I know he went to a big party that night, so thought that was interesting. Okay. You're killing it, Vikram. Thank you. Killing it as usual. So the other bruises that he sustained, a week prior, that was probably from Marcus. Marcus used to get pretty handsy with Jerome and is probably being a little too rough. He smacking Jerome around a little bit here and there. Oh, one more thing for the road. Pathologist team has just a message. Victim's prints recovered from railings of Stafford Tower. Jerome was pushed from the 12th floor. Oh. So Jerome was pushed from the 12th floor. Interesting. Let's go ahead and go to the... actually, no, let's go back to intelligence. See what Sophie has for us now that we had her looking into the plate recognition. Some interesting activity. Of course, a flurry of paramedics and police right after the murder, but A half hour before, a black Mercedes with tinted windows enters the neighborhood. Now the vehicle is registered to a middle-aged woman, but an undercover ops team has logged it as a criminal vehicle associated with Peckham-based gangs known as the Spring Block. Right. So there's a couple different gangs here. There's the SE15, I think it was, and then there's Spring Block. And it seems like they're, obviously they're not friendly with each other. So they're not. I don't think it's a full out war right now, but they're definitely not friendly with each other, and they're kind of at battling with each other a little bit. So it's very interesting. It's a good find. It's a good find. Good find, Sophie. Good job. I guess we're gonna ask Sophie what she was up to last night. My girl cooked an amazing dinner. Then we went to bed early. That riveting, Sophie. Thank you for telling me that. I don't even know why we needed to ask you. What you were doing last night. I don't know why it's any of our fucking business, but thanks for sharing. You have a girlfriend ? Like, why is that surprising? Your daughter, you're a lesbian. Oh my goodness. Why does it matter? But why not? You're lesbian. I guess Sophie would. Probably talking about, okay, I thought maybe they were gonna like throw a curveball at me and be like, no, it's my daughter, asshole. Like, why is this any of our business? How long you've been dating? You're in a relationship. We have to go through it, I guess, but I don't know why it's any of our business. Almost 5 years. Me and Bae going strong. That's right, Sophie. What about you, tongue-tied? Oh boy. I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely. Recently started a relationship with the bot on my banking app. I'm so lonely. Maybe there's room for 3 with you and with you and your girlfriend, Sophie. Maybe there's a little bit of room for tongue-tied. You're a catch babe, and there's loads of singletons in Scotland Yard. We'll set you up in no time. Oh, Sophie, you're a champion. You're a jam champion, Sophie. Thank you. Now we're back on the ground with McGuire and Bronson. Let's go ahead and skip through and see what they've done. We've concluded our community impact assessment. It's not good. Oh, boy. In fact, it's probably the worst I've seen. And the community has been through its fair share of trauma. No one can quite fathom that Jerome Jacobs is the murder victim. I don't want to heap any more pressure on you, but the situation out there is fragile, to say the least. Interesting. Sutherland ends in, okay, boys, anything that assists the investigation? The name Kane came up several times. Kane is a different name. Kane is a new name, and I'm wondering if maybe Kane from the WWE? No, Kane is a new name, so I wonder who Kane is all about. Always under hushed voices, an infamous local gangster, an infamous local gangster, it seems, the Peckham Boogeyman, worth investigating. Okay, boys, thanks. Run that name through Intelligence Tide. Will do. All right. I think Intelligence is Vikram, maybe? No, he was Forensics. Intelligence is Sophie, so we're probably going to run this through Sophie. So, bring in Tara for questioning. Oh, there we go. CCTV footage of Marcus Lucas. And this, we can send this off to them, let them know what we've seen here. So Sutherland's already checked it out. Okay. Certainly corroborates their statements. Actually, yeah, right. It does. It does. It corroborates each one of their statements, actually. Lucas is running with a chrome mask before ditching it. Marcus is intoxicated. And Jerome is holding that same mask only minutes later. Right. Nothing of Jerome's fall from the commotion leading up to it, though. Now you're getting greedy, detective. It's an unwritten rule in murder investigations. The CCTV footage you most want is the one you'll never get. So let's go ahead and bring Tara in for questioning. Please bring Jerome's girlfriend, Tara, for questioning. And now we'll be able to do another interview with Tara. It's going to take them about 30 minutes to do. So let's go back to intelligence while we're waiting for that. Let's go ahead and identify Kane and pull the records. Sophie, if you could do that favor for me, that would be amazing. Give me a minute. Okay. I'll give you a couple seconds. An undercover operative log mentions Kane several times. Real name, Elijah Dang. Deng? Elijah. Understood to be the leader of the Spring Block gang and a major player in the cocaine trafficking, but he has no criminal record. We do have a photo on file. Scary looking dude. Interesting. So, he could have something to do with Jerome's murder, or really have absolutely nothing to do with Jerome's murder. I don't know why he, as the boss of Spring Block, would have anything to do with Jerome, who is literally nobody of the SE-15, or really just kind of like walking around with a mask. Like this guy, Elijah, would spend his time, which I'm sure is valuable in his gang, he would spend it doing something else, like doing bigger, better, not better, but doing things more important to them and their gang. That I don't think he would have any interest in Jerome. So let's go back to the ground. Let's go ahead and skip, and we can bring in Tara for questioning. Oh, Bronson. PC Bronson's calling.
Hello, detective. It's PC Bronson here. I'm with PC Maguire. So we're at Jerome's girlfriend's house. Her name's Tara. We've spoken to her parents. To be honest, I don't think we're going to be able to interview her today. It's going to have to be a postponement. She's really not in a fit state to answer any questions. Apparently, she hasn't been out of bed for the last couple of days.
Oh, depressed. Poor girl, or bring her in now. You know, if she's in that much of a distressful state, if she's freaking out, if she's depressed that much, I don't think she's going to be any good to us bringing her in right now and putting her under even more stress. So we'll just, if we postpone it, it's just delaying more information that we need to potentially find who killed Jerome. But she's not going to do us any good if she can't answer questions anyways. So let's not push it too hard.
Listen, it's nothing to worry about. Her mum has assured me that she's going to bring her in as soon as she's ready to speak.
Okay,
it's
good.
Not going to be today. Look, we're going to head back in now. Give us a shout if you need anything else from us, okay?
All right. Tara's mum better be keeping her word. So, we can bring Kane in for questioning. So, yeah, you need to go look out. Go find Elijah. Bring Elijah in for questioning. I've got this one, boys. Sutherland's going to take this one. So, I don't think there's anything else that we can really look into. We looked into the photos. We've already really looked into all of the chat. I don't see anything else lit up yellow that could be potential information or potential clues. I think we found all of those. We do have more clues here. So Aaron, Aaron, that was the other kid in the photo. Okay. All loved up with Tara, talking about Jerome's girlfriend. Oh, he's talking about, I've never seen you like this. What's going on? I had to act like a proper fool to convince her to go out with me. No risk, no reward. I bet she'll say yes. I think I will. Jerome, you got to be straight with me. Yeah? I've never seen you like this. What's going on? Bro, can't look. Karen, Will, Lucas, I love those boys, but Jerome, you're my brother. I trust you with my life. You can tell me what's going on. I just really can't right now. You'll be the first person I tell. I promise you, Aaron. But just give me some time, okay, bro? That's all you had to say. You're my brother. So he's pretty connected with Aaron. So that's all really important. Man's making his move on Keisha tonight. Yeah, boy, my guy's gonna kill it. Keisha, what? I thought he was messing with Tara. Quite buzzed, actually. Should be a good party. Trying to talk some sense into Lucas and Karen. Lucas just told me some mad story about a Breda called Kane. Ooh, that's information. Who kills people with barbecue sauce. He kills people with barbecue sauce? I thought barbecue sauce was just another word for blood. like, like the barbecue sauce that was coming out of Richie's mouth at the end of episode 7 of Duskwood. Don't know anything about that, but I've heard of Kane. Everyone has. Oh, my phone's freaking out again. I thought they were just gassing. Nah, Kane is real. What is actually his deal? He's a killer. What else do you need to know? Yeah, sorry, man. Bear tired. Not really feeling it. No worries. It's all blessed. Look what I found. Oh, this is when he found the mask. He found the mask that Lucas dropped. And now he's saying I'm Kane. So, oh no, he wasn't going around talking about I'm Kane this, I'm Kane that. And then Kane found him. That's not good. All right, so let's see if there's anything else in Chat's app anywhere else, like Will maybe. Bunch of pictures of video. Little man got squashed. Not much there. We've already talked with Lucas. There was a piece of information that we must have forgotten to do. Maybe that's about Kane. That might be about. Is that about Kane? Nike Air Max all over white laces. Kane looks up at a big man, waits for him to clean it up. But big man's an OPP. Big man's an op. Never even heard of Kane. Says they're dead creps anyway. Says he's done him a favor with that barbecue sauce. So Kane says nothing, just calmly bends down, undoes the laces, and leaves the shop. Big man's like, whatever, keeps on with his meal, finishes up, starts walking down the street, and then boom, Kane starts choking him out with the barbecue laces. Big man sputtering, chicken wings flying everywhere. Same time, Spring Block Mandem arrive, and bruv, they got to work the next day. Chicken shop, boss man in the alley, talking about expired ribs, and open up the bin in there, and amongst the chicken fat is a big man, eyes wide open, rolled back into his head. But that's not it. Barbecue sauce everywhere, coming out of his mouth, coming out of his ears, coming out of his eyes, bruv. Now that's Kane. So he really is killing people with barbecue sauce. I don't know how he's making it come out of people's eyes and ears and mouth and nose and everywhere, but apparently he is. He's taking them out with barbecue sauce. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Nah, this is no joke, fam. Spring Block Kane boys are wild. They just think that what they could do to the Mandem, to SE15, if we don't pattern up, showed him we don't get violated. What you on about? We need to stay out of their way, and no way should we be carrying knives. No options, bro. Gotta have protection. No way I'm going to Spring Block ends without protection. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, what's going on with Karen? Is there anything else in here about Karen? There is. So, I'm sorry I'd keep taking lunch from you, Jerome. I told you it's not a thing. Don't mention it. You seem to be angry with me today, bruv. That's nothing to do with you and Karen. It's nothing to do with you, Karen. Promise. Okay. What's it about? Long story. I don't want to bring you into it. Okay. Do not bring a knife tonight. You know about Spring Block. Yes, I do. And about Kane. Lucas told me. They sound mad. Do you really think carrying a knife into their ends is going to make you any safer? Well, yeah, it's protection, isn't it? You've never used a knife, Karen. You take that out in a fight, it's going to end up being used on you. But Lucas is bringing one. Lucas will do Lucas, but I know you've got more sense than Karen. Or I know you got more sense than that, Karen. You always have. Fine, bruv. Fine what? I won't take a knife. Okay, good. That chicken fat story is pretty mad, though, right? All right. So now we have some more information. Let's go do our interrogation. Oh no, we have to skip intelligence. Oh, we have more stuff that we can do. So on the grounds, we can skip that, but let's do some more information. Let's see if we can get more clues and more information about Kane anecdotes. Investigate Lucas's Kane anecdotes. The chicken fat murder. Talking about barbecue sauce. I'll look into it, babe. Thanks, babe. There are no reports of chicken shop owner discovering a dismembered body in a food waste container, and no reports of gratuitous use of barbecue sauce in an attack. That said, there are multiple cases of violent attacks in proximity to Peckham's chicken shop in the last few years, mostly gang-related stabbings, nothing specifically tied to Elijah Kane, or Spring Block. However, many of these cases are still open. Interesting. So clearly something traumatic happened to Jerome shortly before his murder. His chat with Aaron is very troubling. We need to identify when and what. Yeah, he's really hurting there. Our analysts will identify when this incident is likely to have occurred based on available metadata. Speak to forensics too. They've got a forensics psychologist on staff who can tell you about the incidents just based off Jerome's behavior. Okay, so let's go to forensics. So Sophie said, do you guys have a forensic psychologist on staff who can help interpret an unexplained incident? Diane Morris. She's a pro. I'll pass the information. Let's go ahead and skip that. Let's go ahead and get that information. Let's speed line that information to Diane. I've had a look at the evidence available and reached my conclusions. Let me first caveat that these are speculative assertions based on what there was. My findings are the victim experienced an intensely personal traumatic event a week prior to his death. This event aroused intense fear, anger, and betrayal. These grew into feelings of shame and guilt in the week following. The victim was unable to confront these emotions and was processing them up until his death. Wow. A lot of information there. A lot of deep stuff there. Invaluable analysis, doctor. Okay, thank you. What utter waste of time. you gem quack. You damn quack. What an utter waste of time. No. Thank you, doctor, psychologist, forensic psychologist of doctors determining people's emotions based off of a 4-second video. Thank you. It was much appreciated. Good luck with the case. I appreciate that thing. Okay, back to intelligence. We'll go ahead and skip through this. So our analysis have determined the incident took place 1 week prior to the murder, and most likely in the morning. Okay. Interesting. So now we go back to on the ground. Let's go ahead and skip. They They have found him, so we have Kane available for interrogation. Sweet. Strangely easily, almost as if he wanted to be brought in, he's in interrogation room A. Bring in Aaron for questioning as well. Minor injuries coincide with traumatic event. So let's go ahead and see if they can bring in Aaron for questioning as well. Jerome explicitly states that he would confide in Aaron first. Let's hope that he did before his death. That would be a good idea. Boys can go do that. So while they're doing that, let's go ahead and interrogate Kane. Elijah. Born November 15, 1989. No prior convictions. Okay. Let's go ahead and enter the interview room. Interview is being recorded at New Scotland Yard, London. I'm DCI Michael Sutherland. Detective Constable Tongue-Tied is joining us via Yard Link. Elijah, could you give us your full name? Elijah Dang. And do you also go by the name of Kane? Yes. What would you prefer we use? I would prefer Kane. Sure. What is your date of birth? November 15th, 1989. So where did the name Kane come from? Are you the leader of Spring Block? How did you enter the line of work? So should we just start right off? Like you the leader of Spring Block? The gym leader of Spring Block? We got the boss here, do we? But I don't really care where the name Kane came from. You the leader of Spring Block, are you? Well, if I say I am, then I implicate myself in a criminal conspiracy. And if I say I'm not, then I disavow those closest to me. So, Detective Tongue-Tied, I'm going to have to go for no comment. Oh, you think you're smart. He thinks he's so smart. He's a damn smart ass is what he is. How did you enter the line of work? Tell us about the murder of Jerome Jacobs. You're surprisingly well-spoken. You could be well-spoken. Anybody could be well-spoken. I'm not gonna. So how did you get into the line of work? Tell us how you entered your line of work, or should we just tell us about the murder of Jerome Jacobs? I mean, if we ask him about the murder of Jerome Jacobs, he's just gonna be like, never heard of him. Like he could easily. So we need to beat around the bush a little bit. We got to get him talking about it. When I was 12, my grandmother passed away. I never knew her. She lived in Sudan. My father spent a small fortune to travel back for the funeral. There was never any question he would, but when he tried to return home, he was denied reentry. This great country that he called home for 25 years disowned him, just like that. Well, of course, that was a traumatic time for us. My mom, my sisters, the future of our family fell on my shoulders. And while I looked at my surroundings, the opportunities before me, and there was only one commercial enterprise I felt sure I could rise in. Why are you being so candid? Dealing drugs. Where did the name come from? Where did the name Kane come from? So, what enterprise are you involved in, Kane? I don't want to say dealing drugs because then he's gonna beat around that bush again and without answering the question. So, let's find out where the name Kane came from. Where'd that originate? My dad was a big fan of early hip hop. Growing up, all I heard, my mom couldn't stand it. Anywhere there's a song by Big Daddy Kane. Ain't no half steppin'. When my dad put that on, I'd just go crazy for it. Must have been the first thing I really memorized. Rappers stepping to me, they want to get some. But I'm the Kane, so you know the outcome. Another victory. They can't get with me, so pick a BC date, because you're history. I pretty much told everyone to call me Kane from then on. I guess it stuck. And now Kane is a violent drug dealer. Tell us about your deadly street gang. Why are you being so candid? So tell us about your street gang there, Kane. See what you have to say about that. I operated a business that went from 5% market share to 80% market share in under 3 years. Our distribution links stretch across London and into the Northwest. My product never goes out of supply, and never goes out of demand. You sound very proud of yourself. Well, do you think my biggest consumer is? I can tell you now, they don't look like me. Your daughter, maybe? Oh, calling out Sutherland's daughter. All I'm saying is we don't demonize the middle class users. So I demonize the working class sellers. A few decades from now, I'll probably be held as a respected businessman. Interesting. You use violence and intimidation. Consumption and distribution are very different. Why are you being so candid? I feel like they want me to ask that question. Why are you being so candid? It's because you expand and maintain your business through violence and intimidation. Why are you being so candid with us? Personal consumption and commercial distribution are very different things. Let's ask him why he's being so candid. I feel like it wants me to. Because I'm not threatened by you. Are you curious why I've elected not to have a lawyer present? I know neither of you have anything that incriminates me. How can you be so sure, Kane? How can you be so sure? I'm a good talker of detectives because I'm a good listener, and listening, it starts right here. Kane points to his eyes. Watch these two close enough, and they'll tell you everything you need to know. And all I see in yours is desperation. Oh. So Kane is a smart. If I may say, Kane might be a jam genius. Tell us about the murder of Jerome Jacobs. You're surprisingly well spoken. So they're trying to get us to go back to both of these as well. So tell us about the murder of Jerome Jacobs. If you're feeling so confident, why don't you tell us about the murder of Jerome Jacobs? You're so well talked, and you know exactly how to do it. The murder of who? Yeah, see, that's exactly what I was talking about. Like, he'd just be like, who? You ordered his death in retaliation for an SE-15 attack on your turf that same night. Now that is exciting. I think I missed the first episode, though. Could you bring me up to speed? Oh, my goodness. Don't get cute with us. Sure, episode 2, Kane goes to prison. We have evidence. We don't, though. Let's get. Now, I don't want to get funny with him, because if he sees it, he'll be able to pick up on that. If we start losing our cool, and we start getting like angry with him or getting funny with him, he's gonna realize that he won, and we can't let him realize he won. So we're gonna bluff that we have evidence. We have evidence, Kane. It implicates you in this boy's murder. We strongly advise you to take this seriously. Enlighten me, detective. Who is Jerome Jacobs? And what is SE-15? So he's not even acting like he knows what the gang's called. Jerome Jacobs is a 16-year-old Peckham boy who was thrown from the 12th floor of Stafford Tower only days ago. He was part of a gang called SE-15, and we have evidence that murder was carried out by Springblock. Firstly, I know every gang worth knowing this side of the Thames. SE-15 is not a gang. It's a postcode. Secondly, why would I want to push this kid off a tower block? Because they robbed your gang, they disrespected your gang, and they invaded your territory. I think they disrespected the gang, robbing a mask from you. They took a jam mask. They stole a mask. And so I had the boy thrown off a roof of a tower block. Just listen to yourself. They stole a mask, so we threw him off the tower. It does sound kind of ridiculous, but gangs do ridiculous things. So the community believes you're responsible. Your vehicle entered the victim's neighborhood. Tell us about Redman. Who's Redman? We know he's one of your boys. You told him to murder Jerome, didn't you? We don't know who Redman is. We conducted automatic number plate recognition on CCTV footage and identified a suspect spring block vehicle entering Jerome's neighborhood shortly before the murder. So the thing is, though, if Kane knows about that vehicle, then he knows that that vehicle is essentially registered, or if it's being looked into, it's going to go back to like an old person. So it's not going to be you know directed towards him. We have spoken closely with the residents, community leaders. Your name has come up multiple times. Now that is the truth. That's legit. So let's ask him that. Let's make this. Kane shakes his head, resignation, and in resignation. Every time a boy in Peckham dies, you lot coming from me. You lot come knocking. Every time you come knocking, you leave empty-handed. Why do you think that is? Kane smiles, disappears. He leans forward and speaks slowly without blinking. It's because when I decide someone needs to go, I'm not going to push them off a tower block or stab them outside a chicken shop. I'm just going to make them disappear. Totally and completely. Poof. Like they never ever even existed. And then I'm going to carry on with my business. Because I'm not interested in blood feuds and revenge and your big boy rep. I'm interested in my business, and I will do anything and everything to protect it. We could charge you for murder. You should be ashamed. Your focus is impressive. I'm not giving him compliments. I mean, we could charge you for murder and for illegal drug distribution. We have a recorded confession. Watch it over, Detective Tide. You may find you don't have as much as you think. Anyway, officers, always a pleasure. Kane rises and leaves interrogation room B. Sutherland scoffs. I quite like him. Alright, that was the end of that interrogation. So we should be trying to get in touch with Aaron now. We have Aaron. His mum accompanied him to Scotland Yard. He's in the interview room now. Okay. So thoughts on the interview with Kane? I hate to admit it, but everything he's saying checks out. I think this chrome mask has been throwing us off the scent to begin with. Jerome, Lucas, and Aaron. These lads aren't gang members. McGuire and I watched through the interview footage. I have to agree. Kane and Springblock are a major player in London's cocaine trade, and there is no evidence to suggest SE15 in anything more than a Chats app group name. I just don't see Kane risking his business for something as trivial as a plastic mask. Yeah, I think so too. What do you think, tongue-tied? So, yeah, I probably have to agree, but man, I don't know. Kane and Springblock are killers, but not our killers. A junior Springblock member might be responsible. Kane is Jerome's murderer, I'm certain. Yeah, it still might be something to go along with Springblock, but it's not Kane. But it might be somebody. It might be one of the, like I said, it might be one of the junior Springblock members. Perhaps a junior Springblock member. It's not impossible. My gut tells me this murder is a lot closer to home. Whoever killed Jerome knew Jerome. I'm sure of that. Even enough hunches. Let's get to work and find some hard evidence. So we do have minor injuries coincide with traumatic event. Experienced a traumatic incident a week before his death. His post-mortem reveals minor injuries that at precisely the same time. We need to find out what happened here. We already know it was the Marcus. I explained incident is now a central part of this investigation. You hear that, boys? We hear you. I want that to be at the very front of your mind going forward. So how am I doing so far? I don't really care what you think how I'm doing. I know I'm doing great. You're doing well. Some of these questions I just don't understand them. I just don't understand why they're forcing us to ask these questions. You have talent for this job, and not everyone does. What's the best part? What's the worst part? What's the best part of this job? Like, oh my goodness. Managing an investigation from crime scene to trial after months and months of hard work, watching the jury come back into the court and deliver their verdict. Emotions and adrenaline are so high, it's hard to decide. I cried after guilty verdicts alongside families who have lost their daughter. I suppose it's a rite of passage. I feel confident you'll know that feeling too. All right, cheers, Southers. So that's your name. It's your nickname now, Sutherland. It's Southers. Get used to it. Been calling you Southers for a long time. So I saw something pop up. Let's go to the BBO news. Family found dead in Guildford House. Tower block fall. Yeah. The fatal tower block fall of a teenage boy in Peckham is not thought to be gang related despite initial indications, police have said. Right. Police believe Jerome was pushed after a post-mortem revealed defense wounds consistent with struggle. However, initial findings which pointed towards a gangland reprisal have since been called into question. We're not ruling out any lines of inquiry, but we know the victim was not affiliated with any gang, and as such, a gang reprisal is unlikely. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's go ahead and interrogate Aaron. What do you got to say, Aaron? This interview is being recorded at New Scotland Yard, London. I'm DCI Michael Sutherland, and Detective Constable Tongue-Tied is joining us via Yard Link. Aaron, could you give us your full name? Aaron Daniels. Thanks, and what is your date of birth? 4th of May, 2005. First and foremost, thank you for coming in. Tell us about your relationship with Jerome. When did you last see Jerome? Think you did. You're probably a nice little boy. So we're gonna be nice and easy with him in first. So thank you for coming in, Aaron. We know you and Jerome were close friends. This must be a very difficult time for you. Let's make sure he feels comfortable in talking with us. Thank you. That's not much, Aaron. I'm gonna need a little bit more. Tell us about your relationship with Jerome. Was Jerome acting strange before his death? When did you last see him? So, yeah, tell us a little bit about your relationship with Jerome. You guys just best friends. Best friends, okay. Being best friends since starting at Peckham Academy 5 years ago. So was he acting a little strange before his death? Can you please tell me what you know first? I need to know what happened. I want to know. We believe Jerome was murdered. Pushed from the 12th floor of Stafford Tower. How do you know? Postmortem has revealed Jerome sustained defensive wounds inconsistent with the fall, but consistent with a violent struggle. We're investigating several lines of inquiry at this moment. Currently, we have no clear suspect or motive. Aaron shakes his head in disbelief. So again, was he acting strange before his death? He wasn't himself. Okay, so he was. He was acting strange at all. What do you think happened? I don't know. He wouldn't tell me. So he didn't. So apparently he did not tell Aaron before his death. He didn't tell him what was going on. But he's never seen him like this. You have to understand, Jerome. He's different from most people. Never unhappy or irritated. Always in a good mood. Always lifting other people up. Sounds like a good kid. So when he comes into school that day, looking like he did, it was so clear that something had happened. Do you think it's connected to his murder? What do you think happened? What are people saying about the murder? He's not going to know. Do you think it's connected to his murder? That's what I keep asking myself. 2 police came in our school today. Gave a speech about what happened in assembly. It's funny. I was about to turn to Jerome during it and be like, bro, what the fuck are these feds talking about? How'd you manage to get pushed off a tower, you wasteman? Aaron suddenly burst into tears and flood of tears. Oh, poor Aaron. Misses his best friend. So we will do our best to solve this. We will solve this, and you have our condolences. Look, Aaron, we're going to do our best to solve this. You have my word. We're going to figure it out. You can go now, Aaron. Thank you for answering our questions. Aaron dries his eyes and leaves the interview room. So, what now? Let's go to intelligence. What's the latest, Sophie? What do you got for me, Sophie? I just recovered a voice memo from Jerome's mum off a chat month back. Please listen.
Hey, sweethearts, mum. Now, I know you're going to call me a nag for this, but please can you leave your live location thing on when you go out? It's just nice to know that you kids are safe and that I know where you are. Okay? All right, I love you.
Oh. I'm just thinking if Jerome's live location was on the night of the murder, anyone with his number could have easily tracked him that night and ambushed him on Stafford Tower. Forget Springblock, Kane. It's those closest to him who would be priority. I would run this by Sutherland ASAP. Ooh, so it could have been somebody really close to him. Notifying Sutherland now. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Okay, I'm on it. I like that. So Jerome's live location was on, so anybody could have gotten in touch with him. Oh, Sutherland's calling. All right, Suthers.
Detective, just got your message about Jerome's tracking data on his phone.
Yeah, what do you think? It's not good, is it? Yeah, what do you think?
I can't believe it. That's his mum gets him to turn that on, and that could have fucked him. So we're going to have to, as a priority, get down the Crown Court today, get hold of someone there and get a special procedure order so we can get access to the rest of the apps on his phone, and we'll see if anyone's trying to track him on the night. But anyone basically linked to him on his phone could have been tracking him. So let's do that as a priority today.
All right, cool.
If you can sort that out today, that'd be great. Cheers, bye.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers, Suthers. Oh, there it is. starring Tongue Tied. So there you guys have it. So this is going to be the next episode. This is episode 3, season 1, episode 3, hashtag WKJJ. We will be getting into that in the next video of Dead Man's Phone. Hope you guys are enjoying Dead Man's Phone. If you are, hit that like button. Leave me a comment down below. Who do you think is responsible for Jerome's murder? Have we met the person yet? Is it Marcus, the stepdad? I mean, he has access to Jerome's phone and be able to find out where he is at that point in time, but was he even conscious enough to be able to do it in his drunken stupor? I don't know. Who do you think is Jerome's murderer? I want to know what your guys' theories are. As always, thanks for watching. Love you all. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.